Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with another ARC book haul, an advanced reader copy book haul, an electronic advanced reader copy book haul. If I, for some reason, which is very rare, I only got my first one this week, if I ever get an advanced reader copy of something like physically, I'll show that to you guys in my weekly reads videos. But I get a lot of books from the publishers and from NetGalley and from authors digitally, because it's just the easiest way to send people books, and I am all for it. I love digital reading, you guys know that, so I will take all the digital advanced copies because they're fantastic. But I've been doing these now. This is like my Thursday video, is to do these book hauls, because if I wait till the end of the month and just do them once a month, it's a long video, and you might not remember the books I talked about at the beginning of the video, let's put it that way. So I have 8 books this week, you guys, 8 books. So that's not too shabby. So we're going to go through them. I'm going to share them with you guys. I've got the information here from the back of the books, and let's jump in and get started. And as I always mention, these ones are the order of release date is the way that I'm going to share them with you. So this book came out back on the 20th of September. So it's already been published, and we have Christmas at the Highland Flower Shop by Lucy Coleman. This is I would label it as a chick lit women's fiction novel, and it's from Embla Books. So thank you to them for sending me a copy of this one. 4 months, one impossible task, it's time to save Christmas. Bella Reed has worked at the Highland Flower Shop ever since she left college, and now her Aunt Jane has handed the keys and the lease over to her. With the business under her reign, Bella is ready to hit the ground running until she is dealt a massive blow. They're being evicted. When dashing businessman Maverick McIntyre, I love that his name is Maverick, turns up in Fort William, Bella discovers the reason they've been kicked out. He has no intention of honoring a ridiculous deal his father made many years ago. As Maverick and Bella lock horns, they both begin to see different sides to one another, and before long the two strike up the most unexpected of friendships. Bella knows she has to keep business separate, but when her head and her heart are saying two different things, life starts to get complicated. No matter her feelings, Bella isn't about to let anyone down, and the entire town's counting on her to save Christmas. Yay! There's a lot of Christmas books in this list, you guys, by the way. Not a lot. There's a fair enough. There's what? 1, 2. Maybe I'm lying. 2. Okay, there's 2. There's 2 Christmas books in this list. They're the first 2. So coming out on October 4th, or came out on October 4th, because this video is going to go up on the 6th of October. So this one just came out, was You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince by Timothy Janovsky, I think is how you say his name. This is a contemporary romance YA LGBTQ book. So I'm looking forward to this one. Thank you very, very much to Sourcebooks for sending me an e-art copy of this one. Bring a little joy to the world. Not today, Santa. Matthew Prince is young, rich, and thoroughly spoiled. So what if his parents barely remember he exists, and the press is totally obsessed with him? He's on top of the world, but one major PR misstep later, and Matthew is cut off and shipped away to spend the holidays in his grandparents' charming small-town hellscape. Population? Who cares? It's bad, though. It's bad enough he's stuck in some festive winter wonderland. It's even worse that he has to share space with Hector Martinez, an obnoxiously attractive local who's unimpressed with anything and everything Matthew does. Just when it looks like the holiday season is bringing nothing but heated squabbles, the charity gala loses its coordinator, and Matthew steps in as a saintly act to get home early on good behavior, with Hector as his maddening +1. But even a Grinch can't resist the unexpected joy of found family, and in the end, the forced proximity and infectious holiday cheer might be enough to make a lonely prince's heart grow 3 sizes this year. I love it. It just sounds adorable. It sounds so cute, and I cannot wait to read it. Coming out on October the 25th, we have The Matchmaker and the Cowboy by Robin Bielman. This is book number 2 in the Wind Song series, and I was reading and it said that these can absolutely be read as a standalone. This is a contemporary romance, and thank you very much to Entangled Publishing for sending me the art copy of this one. Callie Carmichael has a gift for making bridesmaids' dresses. Some even call them magical. Somehow, every person who's worn one of her dresses has found love, real love. And as long as that happily ever after is for someone else, Callie is happy. Because she's fully over getting her heart broken, which is why her new roommate is definitely going to be a problem. After being overseas for 6 months, Callie's only choice is to stay with her best friend's ridiculously hot brother, Hunter Owens. Cowboy, troublemaker, and right now, the town's most converted bachelor. Only Hunter isn't quite the player she thought, and if it weren't for her whole no more love thing, the setup could get confusing really fast. Now Hunter wants Callie to make him a best man suit, a lucky for love kind of suit. And what happens if she makes the suit and he finds true love, and it isn't her? You guys know me. You guys, if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know my love of a good cowboy romance, and this one just checked all the boxes for me, so I'm very excited about it. Next up on the list, coming out on the 1st of November, The Seaside Corpse by Marthe Jocelyn. This is book number 4 in the Aggie Morton Mystery Queen series. This is a children's fiction mysteries. Thank you so much to Penguin Random House for sending me an e-art copy of this one. So, I had book number 1 on my TBR. It's actually right there. I have to go back to the library. I had it on my list to read in September, and I never got around to it. Part of me is thinking I might try and read it in October, because I think it might fit for Storm's Halloween-a-thon, which is to read spooky middle grade books. And a mystery absolutely fits that criteria, in my opinion. This is essentially a series where our main character is a young Agatha Christie, and her sidekick and best friend is Perrault. Hercule, I cannot say his name. It's Perrault, the guy with the mustache. He doesn't have one as a child, but you know what I'm talking about. So this is the 4th book in the series. So I'd like to read the first book either this month or next month. If I don't get to it in October, I'm definitely reading it in November, because book 2 is a Christmas book, and I want to read that one at Christmas time. And then this is now the 4th book, so I'll need to read 3 and then 4. So it says, after an invigorating but not exactly restful trip to a Yorkshire spa, during which she survived a near brush with death and foiled a murderer, aspiring writer Aggie Morton and her friend Hector are thrilled to have the opportunity to stay at a camp by the sea and watch real paleontologists at work. The famed husband and wife team of the Blemington cruise are about to become even more famous with the recovery of a fossilized bones of a dinosaur from the sea by Lyme Regis. The news has already caught the attention of an American millionaire, a British museum, and a traveling circus owner, who each want the bones for their own collections. Tensions are running high throughout the camp, from the cook, the collectors, to the husband and wife themselves, and becomes downright dangerous after Aggie and Hector make a discovery of their own, a body on the beach, not a fossil, but a human body. I love children's middle grade fiction. I just think it's so delightful, and this one sounds so cute. And actually, for those of you who are also Canadian author, by the way, Canadian author, so that's a thing. Coming out on November the 29th, On Spine of Death by Tamara Berry. This is the 2nd book in the By the Book mystery series. It is a cozy mystery, and thank you so much to Poisoned Pen Press for an e-art copy of this book. Don't miss the 2nd installment of this gripping and funny bookish cozy mystery series. This case isn't just cold, it's practically frozen shut. In the aftermath of solving their first murder, best-selling author Tess Harlow and her teenage daughter Gertrude have decided to stay in Winthrop permanently. Now that they've made some updates to the cabin in the woods, they're turning to the family hardware store that Tess inherited and converting it into the town's first independent bookstore. But when renovations unearth bones from a cold case and send them toppling, literally, onto Tess's head, the work comes to a grinding halt. With the whole town convinced that her grandfather was a serial killer, Tess has to call in fellow horror author for reinforcements. Together they'll come up with the perfect story to make all the clues fit and solve a mystery more than 30 years in the making. Now, I have heard such great things about the first book in this series, and I really need to get to it. Again, might be one that I put on my November TBR. My November TBR keeps growing the more I talk about it, but between all the books I want to read, plus the fact it's nonfiction November, I'm going to have a ton of books on that list, but I do want to get to the first book in this series, and I'm really looking forward to this one as well. The next one that I have to share with you is one that, by the time this video goes up, I should have actually finished reading, but I wanted to share it with you guys anyway. So it's called Witcha Gonna Do by Avery Flynn, and this is what I consider to be a fantasy romance because it is a contemporary romance involving witches. Thank you very much to Berkley for sending me an e-art copy of this one to read and review. An unlucky witch and her know-it-all nemesis must team up in the first of a new spicy romantic comedy series from USA Today bestselling author Avery Flynn. I love Avery Flynn. I've read her books before and she's delightful. Could it possibly get any worse than having absolutely no magical abilities when you're a member of the most powerful family of witches ever? It used to be that I'd say no, but then I keep getting set up on dates with Gil Connolly, whose hotness is only matched by his ego. Seriously, I can't stand him, even if I also can't stop thinking about him, specifically kissing him. But we're going to pretend I never told you that part. So yeah, my life isn't the greatest right now. But then it goes straight to the absolute worst hell when I accidentally make my sister's spell glitch and curse my whole family. And the only person who can help non-magical me break the spell, you guessed it, Jill, the super hot jerk. Now we have to work together to save my family and outmaneuver some evil-minded nefarious forces bent on world domination. Oh yeah, and we have to do all that while fighting against the attraction building between us, because I may not be magical, but what's happening between Gil and I sure feels like it. I love it. I can't wait. Like I said, I have it from, it's up, as of recording this, it's up next. I will be starting it as of filming it today. So I'm very, very excited about that one. Just 2 more books, you guys, coming out on January the 10th, 2023. Exes and O's by Amy Lea. This is a contemporary romance, and thank you again to Berkley for the e-art copy of this one. This one looks super, super cute. Very Valentine's Day are the vibes I'm getting from this cover. Romance book connoisseur Tara Chen has had her heart broken 10 times by 10 different men, all of whom dumped her because of her stage 5 clinger tendencies. Nevertheless, Tara is determined to find the one. The only problem, classic meet-cutes are dead, thanks to modern dating apps. So Tara decides to revisit her exes in hopes of securing her very own trope-worthy second chance romance. Boston firefighter, yes please, Trevor Metcalf will be the first to rush into a burning building, but the last to rush into a relationship. Love just isn't his thing. When his new roommate Tara enlists him to help her reconnect with her exes, he reluctantly agrees. But Tara's journey is leading him to discover his own new chapter. The more time they spend together, the more Tara realizes Trevor seems to be the only one who appreciates her authentic, dramatic self. To claim their happily ever after, can Tara and Trevor read between the lines of their growing connection? That sounds so cute. I mean, that is romance novel personified. Like, those of us who love the romance genre, that's the kind of book that just, yeah, sounds so good. And just grab a sip here really quickly. Excuse me and thank you. The last book I have to mention on here comes out January the 17th, and this is The Courtship Plan by Kathleen Fuller. This is an inspirational Amish romance, clearly if you couldn't tell that from the cover. And thank you very much to Zondervan Fiction for sending me an e-art copy of this book to read and review. So this one, I've read Kathleen Fuller before. She is definitely a bit higher on the inspirational scale. I talked about this in a recent Weekly Reads video, that with the inspirational romance, you get some that, yes, they do touch on the faith-based aspect a bit, and then there are others that are very, very much faith-based. This one, I think, edges more towards the more faith-based. So, again, it's an Amish romance. It kind of goes without saying, right? Charity is one of the many single women who came to Birch Creek, Ohio with one goal in mind: secure a husband from among the desperate bachelors a newspaper advertisement claimed inhabited the town. Even though that claim proved to be nothing more than a cruel prank, Charity is still hopeful that her happy ending might be within reach when she set up on a date with Jesse. That is until Jesse not so gently shares that he has no interest in a relationship with anyone, especially not with her. 1 year later, Charity is working as a caretaker for a kind elderly Englishwoman in the nearby town of Marigold. She's also working hard on a brand new courtship plan, a plan that absolutely does not involve Jesse. But when he moves next door and is made aware of her scheming, Charity vows to prove that her plan is foolproof. Meanwhile, Jesse is sure she'll make a fool of herself, and for some reason he's not willing to let that happen. This stubborn bachelor and determined bachelorette will soon learn that their plans rarely work out as expected, but God's plans always will. So right there in the description at the back, it talks about, God's plans and stuff like that. So clearly a little bit higher on the spectrum in terms of faith-based, of the faith element of the story. But Zondervan, that's how it's pronounced, the publisher, that's what they do. They are a Christian publisher. So again, we'll go without saying. So anyway, guys, that is all that I have for today's video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Because I'm doing these every week now, I'm not going to have a ton. I think at most maybe 10 or 12 books on a list every week. So that makes it a lot more manageable, a lot easier for me to get through these books and share them, of course, with you guys, because the publishers are nice enough to send them to me. And in most cases, except for, this week, I'm not necessarily going to be getting to the books right away. But anyway, let me know which ones of those sound good to you guys. And until my next video, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.